Hi everybody, welcome to Northern Fell Running. We're down here at Koast Radio with Glen, and we're about to go in and discuss everything trail running.
Should be good.
And fell running related. So stay tuned and we'll see you there.
Absolutely fantastic song, that. Very good choice there. We're back with Lisa and Maggie, Feel Good Friday, 106.6 FM Koast Radio, and we've still got our guests in the studio. Hello.
Hello. And Graeme, that was your choice.
It was my choice.
Is there any reason you picked that particular song?
Yeah. It's not because I'm a massive Take That fan.
I don't believe you.
It was the first fell race I ever did was called Buffalo Fell Race.
Yes.
And I was terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason I was listening to this song at the time, and I remember going around the route, I could hear the song in my head, and I did it, and I was like, yes!
The greatest day
Yeah,
ever.
pretty much. So it sounds a bit lame,
pretty
but yeah.
for the song
But
as well.
it just stuck in my head.
Yeah, fantastic. And you are here to talk us about trail running. I've always been told trail runners are absolutely nuts. Is this true?
Yeah. No, I think it's the beauty of trail running is it incorporates so many people's and their professions. That's what I like about it. It's a real sort of community.
Yeah.
You know, people from all sorts of backgrounds. That's a real big factor for me, that one.
But I think there is a stigma involved in it, because I'm quite new to the sport, and people do think that people that go trail running, fell running particularly, that they're all crazy.
I just know
true.
I have been up mountains and I have had my full winter gear on, and then you see somebody running past you in shorts and t-shirt and
Who's probably warmer than you are.
It's probably, yeah, exactly. You just think that takes a certain type of kind of person drive to do that.
I think there's definitely a difference between a fell runner and trail runners.
Yeah.
Fell runners, you have to make your way to point through navigation over rough ground. Trail running, as it suggests, you follow like a marked trail, flags or arrows.
I'm actually so pleased that you actually explained that. My next question was, can you tell me what actually is trail running? What where do you go? Where do you run?
That's the difference, yeah. As I say, fell running tends to be a lot more extreme. You know, you've got to be really sort of switched on for the weather. You know, it can be quite hazardous if you're out there. The cloud comes down.
You're selling it.
That's why myself and Graeme, we like to go more to the sort of defined trails.
Yeah.
So say they're marked.
Which is still pretty extreme, I have to
It
say.
is. Yeah, that's you have to be sort of again switched on. You've got to be
Certain
aware
type of
of
mentality.
markers.
We did a race a couple of weeks ago and I got lost. It was a windy gale fell race, and I got lost in the first 2 miles.
Wow.
So
Really?
yeah.
So what did you do? Did you just keep running until you've got found again? Or?
Well, I knew that the guy in front of me was maybe 100 yards in front of me, and then we got around the corner and he wasn't there. So I thought, oh, hang on, looked around, and so I just had to go back over myself, and now I could see the runners over in the distance. I'd gone off. So I lost about 20 places, unfortunately.
Ooh.
And it was annoying. If you look back at the video, I was in the top 20, and then I lost a load of places. But there you go.
So
It
is it competition that every run that you do, is it like a race or a competition, and then there's a leaderboard, and is there a league or anything like that, or is it just on individual runs?
There's championship races. A lot of clubs and harrier clubs and fell running clubs, they have their own championship, and they choose which races is going to represent the championship.
Right. Yeah.
But the trail ones are just sort of ongoing, rolling events where people just come to participate.
And I suppose they pick on the previous year's times, and you're trying to beat that, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, definitely.
And trying to beat your own time, because if you've done it a number of times, you know, you'll have a benchmark time that you want to try and
so that competition is against yourself, you just want to get better. And
you're right, I think there's two sets of people. There's the a group that are really competitive. They're trying to beat themselves, records, that type of thing. But thankfully, the majority, they're just like the experience.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, being out, the places where you go, it's just stunning.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Isn't
great.
it?
Yeah, I mean, that
it
one
is.
we just talked about, the Windy Gale Ferries, it was only £7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
So it's not a mega expensive
Yeah.
It's
sport.
a
Like,
simple one, that.
yeah.
No,
What
not at all.
about the gear and things that you have to wear? So
well, that's a bit more expensive.
yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
You know, going remote places at times, so it's
So
just
do you have to take, like essentials just in case? Like you say, the weather can change so
that's
quickly.
right. Yeah.
You do.
How do you prepare for that?
I'll just tell you a little story where I went. That was
Mm.
last year. Me and my friend Lee
Mm-hmm.
took part in an event called the Lap in the Lake District. It's a 50-mile loop of Lake Windermere, and you're taking the mountains at the top end.
50, did you
50,
say?
Just a small
Just a
50
small
mile
50 mile.
Yeah,
Of
but
course you do.
I'm not that experienced, so the kit list was quite extensive, and I'm thinking, oh God, what do I need all that for? So kind of skimped on it a little bit, and it was very wet, very cold,
Yeah.
and at the halfway point I had to be taken out with hypothermia
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
because I didn't take the safety list seriously enough,
Yeah.
and so you can get in trouble. So the safety list, I think we all whinge about it,
It's
but
essential,
it is
really.
there for a reason.
Yeah.
And you do have to have good gear. If you buy cheap stuff that you might wear for your little park run, it's not going to be good enough for an ultramarathon.
No, you've got to have respect for
Yeah.
up the
Yeah,
hills and up the
absolutely,
mountains.
which
haven't
I
you?
found to my
Yeah.
detriment.
So how long had you been running when you did that?
I pulled out at about 5 and a bit hours.
No, but what I mean is, like, how long had you been in many races before?
Oh
that, or
right,
were you
no,
quite-
I'm quite new to it. I did my first half marathon in 2019,
Wow.
and shortly after that, met up with this fella
Yeah.
So
It
and,
gets addictive when you're
and
running,
just
Yeah.
got
doesn't it?
dragged into it all.
Yeah.
And I'm trying
Was
to
it-
trying to get out of it, but I
Have
can't.
you always been like into running and things like that, though?
Glenn has, but
I have, yes. I used to play a lot of football as a youngster. Not a good standard at all, but I enjoyed the keep fit side.
Uh-huh.
And when I got too old for that, I thought, oh my goodness, when I stood on the scales, I thought, I'll have to do something here. And I just got into running, and I've got 5 brothers, and we always used to do sort of a race after football.
He's quite competitive.
We were then, yes. We're not, thankfully, not competitive now. But I really enjoyed that. It was a 5-mile route in Newcastle, and that got me into it because I really enjoyed it. And I met loads of people similar to what Graeme, and I thought, hey, this is a good community,
Yeah.
and just got swept along with it.
And the thing is, when people see, when they're passionate about something, they
Mm.
want to be part of that as well.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
you can get addicted to it quite
Yeah.
quickly.
You can, that's
Yeah.
right, definitely.
I'm surprised that you've only been in it a short period of
I
time.
did 50
I
miles.
thought, I thought,
Brilliant.
yeah, 50 miles. That's
well, yeah.
you didn't quite do 50 miles because you got hypothermia. But I'll not say anything more about
Well,
that.
but I went back this year and I did it again, and I
Right.
completed it. So
Yeah.
So how much training does it involve running 50 miles?
wow, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we our training runs were marathons.
Yeah.
So some people, obviously, respect to them, they'll train to do a marathon, but our training runs were
So
running a marathon.
Do you run every day?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Because you'd think that would be
I would
quite
imagine.
time consuming,
Yeah.
Well, it is, yeah,
training,
you-
running
you know,
marathons and
Yeah, you need
so
to.
how often do you have to do it?
Me personally, I'd run about 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Glenn sometimes runs twice a day.
Yeah.
Really?
I
You
do,
run every
but
day?
I'm finding now, I'm 60 now.
Wow, you don't look
Wow.
60 at all.
Well, thank
We're
you
gonna
very
start
much.
running.
I know.
Good job we're on the radio.
You.
Yeah, I just...
Let me swore there.
One rule.
Yeah.
Sorry, Glenn.
No, it's alright. I was just going to say I find now maybe once a day and have a rest is so important.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
obviously really good for you then.
Well, I think so. Mentally, physically, you can probably tell from
Uh-huh.
the enthusiasm. I just think it's such an important thing
Yeah.
to do, to get involved with.
Fantastic.
I think any exercise is important, really, even
Yeah.
if it's walking.
Yes.
So people need to just do what they can,
Mhm.
and you know, but to have that passion for what you do,
Yeah.
and you can feel it, can't you? You can feel the passion with running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much so I've went into the sort of organisation side of it, which I thought I would never enjoy.
Right.
I always would like to participate, but I get equally as much enjoyment organising races now,
Yeah.
getting the lovely feedback.
Well, it's sharing something that you're passionate
Yeah,
about and just
definitely.
seeing other people just get
Yeah.
it, isn't it?
And especially when people message us and just say, look, I've seen your race, I'm not really confident, I don't know if I'll manage it. But then lo and behold, they do it, and then the feedback,
Yeah.
the buzz that they've got is really satisfying.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
you're a bit of a mentor as well as.
Yes,
everything,
be that
yeah.
case, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, the next song I'm going to put on, I'm not even going to introduce. Not even going to introduce. And if you can guess what it is before it comes on, well done you.
But you're going to stay with us
Yeah,
for the rest
staying
of
with
the...
us because we're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be back with you and talk a little bit more after this.
It's good fun, isn't it?
Well, that was Happy. A little bit of a different version because
we couldn't find the other
one. But that was your choice, wasn't it? So those last two songs.
Yeah, it brings back great memories, that. 10 years ago, I was very fortunate to do the Chamonix Marathon. My eldest brother at the time had a place out there,
Oh, wow.
and it was a great experience. It was like a festival atmosphere.
It's not for running, that's for climbing, I've got to say.
Oh, it looked epic for climbing, to be honest. But yeah, and that was sort of on a more or less on a loop.
Yeah.
And there was a big screen where you could watch the updates.
Oh, it sounds
And
incredible.
yeah, the atmosphere was fantastic, and I met my all-time hero, not Graeme, I guess I am. A gentleman called Killian Jeanette.
Right.
He's undoubtedly the world's best mountain runner, and he was a lovely, humble guy, and about the same height, which was nice.
How did you feel when you met him?
I was a bit starstruck overall because this gentleman, just to give you an idea, he's got the record for running up Everest
Wow.
twice
Wow.
without oxygen.
Oh my goodness.
It took me about 7.5 hours to do that marathon. It took him 3 hours 20. He's just a phenomenal athlete. He's
Sounds
from
like a
Catalonia, and he's still going now and still breaking records. So that it just brings back fantastic memories of a great
Yeah.
holiday and experience.
And the one before that, Unstoppable. I have to say, I keep saying this is my favourite song. I sing it all the time at the minute.
Yeah, I love that one because certainly the chorus, I think it's very apt for running and everyday living.
Yeah.
Just, I use it like as a mantra.
It's those messages, you know,
Very
I am
much so,
strong, you know, I am
Yeah.
unstoppable.
Yeah, yes. Because, there's times I don't know, your motivation's down or things aren't going too well. And I just flick that on, I just think, brilliant. I'm out
I'm
there.
strong, I am invincible, I am powerful.
Always work, but yeah. So no, thanks for that. Great choices,
Yeah,
thank you.
fantastic.
Well, running up the hill was just because we got from Kate Bush.
Yeah.
It was just apt because of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
great song. I mean, she's making a fortune now.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
Yes.
But what we want to talk about is your YouTube channel, because we are being filmed this morning. So
Hello, YouTube.
we have got a camera going on in the background as well, so we have to watch what we say when we're off air as well as
I'll
on air
edit out
today.
all those bits, Maggie, don't worry.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I'll give you a tenner later. So tell us a bit about your YouTube channel.
Right, well, it's called Northern Fell Running,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been going over a little over a year now. And I set that up just basically when I started running. As I mentioned before, I wasn't that confident a runner, and a lot of the races that I was doing, there wasn't anything online, because I was like desperately trying to find a video that I'd see where I was going to run, and there wasn't anything about. So I started videoing the runs, and at this point me and Glen had already become friends, and I rang him up one day and I said, look, I've had this idea of like just making everything, like giving it a name, and we'll set a YouTube channel up, and it'll plug your little company, Chivia Trail Events, and it'll plug local races. And so we did it, and it's going from strength to strength, and we've got 500 subscribers now, which
And-
doesn't sound many, but you go and try and set up a YouTube channel. It's
Yeah.
hard work.
Yeah.
But you've got a competition running as well, haven't you? And that's kind of generated some more
Yep, we've
subscribers. so-
just this week released our latest competition, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
We are running a big race tomorrow.
Mhm.
It's called the Chevy Chase.
Okay.
Okay, it's a it's a 20-mile fell race through the Cheviots, and myself and who I run with, Lee Bowmaker, who'll be listening today. Hello, Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee. We are running tandem. When we get to certain points on the route, we are going to say a certain word.
Mhm.
So you have to watch the video